Be prepared, a divine summons stirs in the unseen, its whisper echoing in the quiet chambers of your soul. You stand at the threshold of a sacred moment, a doorway opened not by chance, but by the hand of God Himself. This is no ordinary hour. It is a holy invitation, a call reserved for those whose hearts are tuned to the still, small voice of the Almighty. If you're hearing this now, it is no accident. You are poised on the edge of a transformation, a moment so profound it could reshape the path of your life. Yet, like a flame flickering in the wind, this opportunity is fragile, easily dimmed by a single misstep, one careless word, one moment of distraction, and the door may close before you step into promise. This is not a time for proclamations or fanfare. God does not crown those who shout their plans to the world. He anoints the quiet ones, the faithful who sense His presence when others remain blind to it. You are here because you've walked through valleys, faced unseen battles, and refused to settle where others have grown content. This moment is yours, not because you demanded it, but because you endured the trials that carved the path to the sacred threshold. Yet, the question lingers. Will you cross it, or will you let the noise of the world pull you back? Imagine standing before a holy sanctuary, its doors visible only to those who seek with faith. The air hums with divine purpose, a gentle stirring that awakens your spirit. This is the call of God, a moment of alignment that arrives not with thunder, but with the precision of His will. It peaks now in this sacred season, but it comes with a warning. Silence is your shield. One hasty word, one premature unveiling of His plan for you, and the door may fade, leaving only echoes of what might have been. The Lord is watching, not for your declarations, but for your trust. Can you hold the sacred stillness long enough to let His promise take root? This is no fleeting moment. The world will not feel it. They will walk through their days, bound to their routines, unaware of the divine current flowing above. But you are different. You've always been the one who sees what others miss, who feels God's hand when the world is distracted. This call is not for the crowd. It is for the faithful, the seekers, the ones who walk alone because they know the path is theirs to tread. The Lord does not entrust His promises to those who cling to comfort. He reserves them for those who dare to stand apart, who trust His whisper when the world demands noise. What lies beyond this threshold? Not a spectacle, not a burst of glory to dazzle the unprepared. The gift of this moment is sharper, deeper, eternal. It is a clarity that pierces chaos, the peace that aligns your steps with God's purpose. But to claim it, you must master the discipline of silence. Picture a sacred scroll, its words written by the hand of God. To share it before it is complete is to invite distortion. The wrong ears, the wrong hearts, can unravel what He has woven. A single boast, a fleeting moment of pride, and the promise you carried scatters like dust in the wind. This call is a test of faith. As it unfolds, your presence grows louder, not in words, but in spirit. Others will notice you, drawn to the quiet radiance of God's work within you. Some will be pulled toward your light, sensing the divine momentum building in your life. Others will feel unsettled, threatened by a glow they cannot name. This is where the danger lies. Your spirit is speaking, but your voice must remain still. To explain, to justify, to reveal too soon is to invite shadows to your flame. Stay silent, and you move unseen, gliding toward God's promise while the world remains unaware. Feel this moment. Let it settle in your heart. The Lord is not asking you to prove yourself to others. He is asking you to trust the work He is doing within you. Those meant to see His light in you already do. Those who don't never needed to. Your power lies not in what you proclaim, but in what you hold sacred. As this divine call unfolds, it amplifies your spirit, not your voice. Let it weave its holy work. Let it carve the path only you can walk. God's call does not arrive with trumpets. It slips in quietly, like a shepherd tending to hidden flocks. It carries no banners, no promises of instant triumph. Instead, it brings a mirror, a light, a truth that reveals the corners of your life you've overlooked. You may feel a restlessness, a stirring that something is not right. Your heart feels crowded, your thoughts heavy. That burden you've carried too long suddenly weighs more than it should. The habits you've ignored now feel like chains. This is not a coincidence. It is God's hand, showing you what must be released to make room for His blessing. This divine moment sharpens your vision, awakening a holy awareness that refuses to let you look away. You'll notice the small things, the words that drain your peace, the distractions that cloud your purpose, the burdens you've carried out of habit. This clarity is not here to condemn you. It is here to set you free. God does not tear down what is broken. He reveals it so you can choose to let it go. This is a sacred recalibration, a clearing of the temple of your soul, so that His promise can dwell within. Imagine your life as a sanctuary, its altar cluttered with relics of the past. God's call hands you the tools to sweep it clean, not because He demands perfection, but because His blessing deserves a holy space to rest. Clear one burden, and peace floods your heart. Release one weight, and a door opens where none stood before. This is God's promise. Action begets His favor. Not grand gestures, not empty vows, but the small, faithful steps that signal to heaven, I am ready. As you move through the sacred season, let the urge to refine guide you. Trust the discomfort, for it is God's whisper, urging you to make room. The promise you seek cannot dwell in chaos. It needs clean altars, open hearts, a spirit unburdened by noise. This is not about becoming flawless. It's about becoming free. The lighter you feel, the closer you are to the crown God has prepared. So pause, pray, and listen. What in your life needs tending? What needs release? The answers are already within you, waiting to be heard in the stillness. If this message stirs your soul, take a moment to rest in it. Feel the weight of God's presence, like a star shining in the quiet of your heart. What is He calling you to release? What is He preparing you to receive? Hold these questions in your prayers, and let His Spirit guide you as we continue this holy journey. The sacred call of God, stirring the quiet of your soul, is not a fleeting whisper. It is a divine forge where your faith is shaped into something eternal. This is not a moment of spectacle, but a sanctification, where the Lord refines you like gold, burning away what no longer belongs. Picture yourself as a vessel, crafted by His hands, standing ready to receive the promise He has prepared. But this blessing demands your presence. It asks you to step into the holy discomfort, to face the truths you've avoided, and to clear the altar of your life for His glory. God is not here to hand you triumph without preparation. He is here to show you how to carve a space for His crown. Envision a sacred garden, its soil tangled with thorns of neglect. God's call does not rush to plant new seeds. It first bids you to clear the ground. It points to the corners of your heart you've let grow wild, the habits that cloud your spirit, the burdens that dim your light, the routines that bind you to the past. This moment is relentless, not because God seeks to judge, but because He seeks to prepare. The breakthrough you've prayed for, the promise that hovers just beyond your grasp, cannot take root in a cluttered soul. It needs a sanctified space, a heart made purer, a life aligned with His purpose. This is where your work begins, not in grand displays, but in the quiet, faithful acts that signal your readiness. The Lord does not delight in empty promises. He honors movement. Clear one weight from your heart, and his peace floods in. Release one distraction, and his wisdom lights your path. Adjust one small habit, your words, your thoughts, the way you steward your time, and the heavens begin to hum in response. These are not mere tasks. They are holy offerings. Each step you take to purify your life is a prayer to God. I am making room for your promise. Yet, this refining is not always gentle. God's gaze is piercing, his light unrelenting. You may feel exposed, as if every flaw, every hidden burden, is laid bare before his throne. The urge to reorder, to release, to renew may feel overwhelming, even unsettling. Your heart feels heavy, your spirit restless. That promise you've delayed, that sin you've overlooked, it all rises now, calling for your attention. This is not condemnation. It is God's mercy. He does not break what is broken. He reveals it so you can surrender it to him. This is a divine cleansing, a restoration to temple your soul, so his blessing can dwell within. Picture a holy river, its waters clear and steady, reflecting the light of heaven. The ripples you see are not chance. They're the echoes of your choices, your thoughts, your unspoken burdens. God's call sharpens your vision, letting you see the patterns you've ignored. The words that steal your peace, the distractions that pull you from prayer, the fears you've carried too long, they all disturb the flow. This moment bids you to smooth the waters, to cast aside what clouds your communion with him. It's not about perfection, it's about purity. It's about creating a space where God's promise can rest without resistance. And here lies the mystery. As you clear the noise, your spirit grows louder, not in proclamations, not in boasts, but in presence. You become a beacon of his light, radiating a quiet holiness that draws the right souls and repels the wrong ones. This is why silence is your strength now. To speak too soon, to share his plan before it's fulfilled, is to scatter the seeds he's sown in your heart. The world is full of voices that do not wish you well, not always out of malice, but out of their own unrest. When you declare your path, you invite their doubts, their fears, their subtle attempts to sway you. Silence guards what God is building within you. Think of your promise as a flame, kindled in the secret place of prayer. Every word you speak, every plan you reveal, risks drawing shadows to that light. Some will come with curiosity, others with intentions less pure. They may not oppose you openly. They may offer counsel, praise, or promises of help. But not every voice is sent by God. Some seek to anchor you, to claim a piece of his glory before it fully shines. This moment tests your discernment. Can you trust his whisper more than the flattery of man? Can you protect his flame until it burns brightly on its own? This is not about fear or shrinking back. It's about divine timing. Silence is not retreat. It is strategy. It is the art of moving unseen, gathering strength while the world looks elsewhere. When you hold your spirit close, you allow God's work to deepen, to become unshakable. The Lord does not anoint the loudest voice. He anoints a heart that waits in faith. Picture a priest in the Holy of Holies, offering prayers in silence, revealing nothing until God's presence fills the temple. That is your calling now. Let others misjudge your quiet as weakness. Their oversight is your sanctuary, where you prepare for his glory. As you walk through the sacred season, lean into the rituals that draw you closer to God. Clear the altar of your heart, not because it is unworthy, but because it is holy. Release the burden that no longer serves, not out of shame, but to free your soul. Reorder your thoughts, not to earn his favor, but to align with his will. These acts are not small, they are sacred. Each one sends a ripple through the heavens, proclaiming that you are ready, that you are worthy of the promise he has spoken. And when the urge to share rises, when the joy of his promise threatens to spill from your lips, pause. Pray. Feel the weight of your silence, heavy with divine purpose. Gratitude, unspoken but deeply felt, is a bridge to his heart. Let it flow through you, drawing his blessing closer. Reflect on your path, not with doubt, but with devotion. Ask, what needs surrender? What needs refinement? What no longer belongs? These questions are your guide, leading you through the quiet demands of his call. If this stirs your spirit, rest in it for a moment. Feel the presence of God, like a flame kindling in the stillness of your heart. What is he asking you to release? What is he preparing you to receive? Hold these truths in prayer, and let his spirit guide you as we journey deeper into his divine purpose. As God's sacred call resonates in the quiet of your soul, you stand at the edge of a holy threshold, where the Almighty tests not your voice, but your steadfastness. This is no fleeting moment. It is a divine crucible, where the faithful forge their destiny in silence. The air around you hums with his presence, heavy with the promise of unseen victories. You can feel it. A holy current pulling you toward a purpose greater than yourself, a calling that demands your focus, your discipline, your unwavering trust in his unseen hand. But with this promise comes a shadow, a subtle, cunning force that seeks to disrupt his work. The door to his blessing is open, but so are the snares. Will you hold fast to his peace, or will you let the world's clamor steal the crown he has prepared? Silence is not emptiness. It is a holy sanctuary, a sacred vessel for the promise God is weaving within you. In this moment, your faith is a flame, glowing brighter with every choice you make to guard it. But the brighter it burns, the more it draws those who cannot abide its radiance. These are the restless ones, the spiritual wanderers who sense God's work in you and grow uneasy. They may not oppose you openly. Their interference often hides in shadows, a sudden conflict that feels misplaced, a conversation that drains your peace, a voice that presses for answers you're not ready to give. These are not accidents. They are tests of your resolve to protect the flame God has kindled. Picture a sacred grove at twilight, where the stillness reveals every whisper, every footfall. God's call is like that quiet. It exposes what's hidden. Those who cannot bear his presence will reveal themselves now. They may grow agitated, their words sharp, their presence heavy. They may try to draw you into their turmoil, tempting you with arguments or doubts. But there's a subtler danger, one cloaked in deception. It comes disguised as friendship, a sudden offer counsel from one who once overlooked you, a smile from someone who now claims to see your calling. These are not sent by God. They are trials. Their words may sound kind, but their intent seeks to infiltrate, to nudge you just far enough from his path to dim your light. This is the deeper challenge of God's call, discernment. Not every voice that speaks your name is sent by heaven. Some reach out to anchor you, to claim a piece of God's glory before it fully manifests. Imagine a holy stream, its waters swift and pure, carrying you toward his promise. A single stone, misplaced, can disrupt its flow. So it is with your spirit now. A well-meaning word, a seemingly harmless question, can plant a seed of doubt if you let it take root. This is why silence is your armor. It keeps your path clear, your heart aligned with God's will. To share his plan too soon is to invite distortion. To remain silent is to ensure his river flows true. The Lord is not asking you to shrink or hide. He is calling you to master the discipline of holy silence, a faith that builds strength in the unseen. This is not passivity. It is power under his guidance. Picture a prophet, Standing before the altar, every prayer deliberate, every breath offered to God. Their silence is not weakness. It is a calm before His glory is revealed. So it is with you. Every moment you choose restraint. You stack unseen victories, building a foundation no storm can shake. The world may misjudge your quiet as surrender. Let them. Their blindness is your refuge, where you prepare for God's purpose undisturbed. In this sacred season, your work is inward. It is not about proving your worth to man. It is about proving to God that you can carry the weight of His blessing. Begin with the rituals that anchor your soul. Sit in prayer, not to empty your heart, but to sharpen it. Let your breath become a rhythm, a bridge to His presence. Notice the thoughts that stir. What fears, what doubts, what burdens need to be laid at His feet. This is not prayer for comfort alone. It is preparation for the clarity He demands. Gratitude, too, is a holy offering, one that requires no words. Feel it in your spirit. Let it burn like a flame within you. Picture God's promise, not as a distant hope, but as a seed planted in the soil of your faith. This unspoken gratitude draws His blessing closer, aligning your heart with His will. Reflect on your life with the precision of a steward. What needs surrender? What needs refinement? What no longer belongs in the temple of your soul? A cluttered heart, a draining connection, a habit that pulls you from His presence. These are not trivial. They are the stones in His stream, and removing them is a sacred act. As you release these weights, you'll feel a shift. The air grows lighter, your spirit clearer. This is God responding, His Spirit amplifying your faithfulness. Each act of discipline, releasing a burden, realigning your thoughts, surrendering what no longer serves, sends a prayer to heaven. I am ready, and God hears. He does not honor the loudest voice. He honors a heart that prepares with intention, that creates a holy space for His promise to dwell. Beware the temptation to proclaim your progress. The joy of God's work within you is powerful, like a fire kindling in your soul. You may long to share, to seek affirmation, to let the world know His hand is upon you. Resist. His promise is still forming, fragile as a spark in the wind. To speak it now is to risk its scattering. Picture a sacred vessel, filled with His light. One careless word, and it spills. Your silence is the vessel, holding His promise until it is ready to shine. As you walk through this season, watch the world around you. Notice who grows restless, who seeks to draw you out, who offers help you didn't seek. These are the signs of God's call at work, revealing what is aligned and what is not. Trust the Spirit within you. It is sharper now, guided by His truth. Those meant to walk with you will sense His presence without explanation. Those who demand your words are not part of His plan. Let them pass, and keep your eyes fixed on His promise. If this stirs your heart, pause in His presence. Feel the warmth of His Spirit, like a flame glowing in the quiet of your soul. What is God asking you to surrender? What is He calling you to protect? Hold these truths in prayer, and let His Spirit guide you as we journey deeper into His divine purpose. As God's sacred call pulses through the quiet of your soul, you stand at the precipice of divine threshold, where the Almighty anoints those who have held fast to His silence. This is no fleeting whisper. It is a holy forge where your faith is crowned with His purpose. The air around you trembles with His presence, heavy with the promise of a destiny only He could weave. You feel it. A sacred tide draws you toward a victory greater than yourself, a calling that demands your unwavering trust in His unseen hand. But the final step is yours. Will you guard the silence that has carried you this far, or will you let the world's noise steal the crown God has prepared? Picture a holy river, its waters steady and pure, carving a path through the wilderness of the world. Your silence is that river, flowing unseen, gathering strength with every moment you surrender to His will. The world may not see it yet. Let them turn away. Their blindness is your sanctuary, where God's promise grows undisturbed. In this sacred season, the Lord does not honor the loudest voice or the grandest gesture. He crowns the one who moves with faith, who guards their calling like a treasure hidden in the heart. Your breakthrough is not for crowd. It is a sacred seed nurtured in the stillness of prayer, ready to bloom when its time is fulfilled. This is the secret of the faithful. Their victories are not proclaimed. They are revealed when you hold your spirit close. When you refuse to scatter His light with hasty words, you build a foundation that no storm can shake. Envision a crown, forged not in the clamor of the world, but in the quiet of His presence, its radiance polished by every act of obedience. The world may crave noise, spectacle, a declaration of your plans. But God knows better. He waits for the one who can carry His promise in secret, who can walk through His call without drawing eyes too soon. As you stand in this holy moment, God's hand refines your path. He does not come with fleeting promises. He comes to prepare you to hold the blessing you sought in prayer. Every act of surrender, every burden laid down, every distraction released, every thought aligned with His truth is a stone in the foundation of His victory. These are not mere tasks. They are holy offerings, each one drawing you closer to the moment when God places His crown upon you. The lighter your soul becomes, the more space you create for His promise to dwell. But the final test of His call is patience. The joy of His promise may burn within you, urging you to speak, to share, to let the world know His hand is upon you. Resist. His blessing is still forming, fragile as a spark in the wind. To proclaim it now is to dim its light before it can shine. Picture a star hidden in the daylight, its glory unseen until the night falls. Your breakthrough is that star, and silence is the night that lets it blaze. To hold it close is to let it grow into something eternal, something no force can diminish. And here lies a truth the world rarely sees. The faithful are never truly silent. Their spirit speaks louder than words, a holy frequency that resonates with those God has chosen. The right doors open without explanation. The right souls draw near without being summoned. The wrong ones, sensing His work in you, may grow restless, their unease a sign of your alignment. Watch them closely. Their agitation, their sudden need to interfere, is God revealing their hearts. Let them unravel. Your focus is not on their noise, but on the path He is carving, step by faithful step. In these final moments of His call, lean into the rituals that anchor your soul. Rest in prayer, not to escape, but to listen. Let your breath be a bridge to His Spirit, carrying you closer to His truth. Reflect on your journey, not with doubt, but with devotion. What remains to be surrendered? What final weight needs lifting from your heart? These questions are not burdens. They are keys, unlocking the space where God's promise will rest. And when gratitude rises within you, let it be a silent flame, burning brightly in your spirit, drawing His blessing nearer with every unspoken prayer. The beauty of this moment lies in its mystery. The quieter you are, the louder God speaks. The less you seek the world's approval, the more His favor finds you. This call is not about proving your worth to man. It is about proving to God that you can hold His promise without spilling it. Every moment of restraint is a victory. Every act of faith a step closer to His crown. And when it comes, because it will come, it will not be a surprise. It will feel like home, as if the heavens themselves conspire to place it in your hands. As you walk through the sacred season, trust His process. God does not crown the one who shouts the loudest, He crowns the one who guards his promise with unwavering faith. Your silence is not absence. It is a holy vault where his purpose takes shape. Let the world misjudge you. Let them think your stillness is surrender. In their oversight, you rise, weaving a testimony that will speak louder than any words ever could. When this season passes, when the clamor fades and the air grows still, you'll feel it. A peace that sings with purpose, a clarity that feels like his embrace. This is a sanctuary you built, the space where his promise will dwell. And when it arrives, the world will see what you've known in your heart, that the faithful, the disciplined, the ones who trusted his whisper, are the ones who wear his crown. If these words have kindled a fire in your soul, let them linger in your prayers. Feel the pulse of his presence, like a star calling you to rise. What is God asking you to surrender? What is he preparing you to receive? Carry these truths in your heart, and let his spirit guide you. If you feel called to share this journey, not with words but with faith, let your life testify. The heavens are listening, and God is ready to meet you where you stand.